So while it's nice that we're recording in your new flat and there's like space and stuff, and we can have no interruptions and things like that, I am mildly concerned about the fact that you're sitting next to a tub of Vaseline and a roll of toilet roll.
It really is not what you think.
It is slightly incriminating.
It's so far from what you think. It really is so far.
I got the place all to myself. Let's go wild, yeah.
I mean, I've got a bedroom for that shit, you know.
Yeah, but now you've also got everywhere else.
I know
to do
exactly.
that
I
shit.
do, but bedroom. I'm a traditional guy. What can I say? You know, like I keep things cozy.
It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time.
Hello and welcome to the 33rd ever A Wonderful Waste of Time podcast.
Do you know what's good about 33?
No.
It's 3 and
Then
another 3.
also another one. If
Bam.
you're halfway there, you're the whole way there. You already know what to do. Just do the same again.
Just put the other 3 there. If you're like dyslexic, yeah, and you know you've got
Yeah, you
problems,
can't get them the wrong way around.
Boom. Unless you literally write it the other way around.
Or if you write EE
And then if you do it the other way around, it would
or
be
MM
8.
or WW.
It won't be 8. It would only be 8 if you write one the other way
Or
around.
just if you did one of them the wrong way around, too close together, and this was just number 8.
Yeah, basically. That's what I'm trying to get at there.
Unlikely, I feel. I'm Kross, and with me as always is...
SG, who's had another thought, is the other good thing about 33 years, if you put a mirror in front of it, it's an 8. Or in between it, it's an 8.
Yeah, in between it. If you put it in front of it, it would just be EE.
It was, yeah. But in between it, you've got 8. There we go.
I feel like we've already been through this, to be fair.
But I'm sure
complications of symbology, maybe?
Is that a symbol thing?
They are symbols.
They are symbols.
Yeah.
They're numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That counts.
When the mirror comes in there, I mean, like...
Numerics.
Numerics? Yeah, maybe numerics.
Numerics are a form of symbols.
Numeric symbols.
Yeah.
Let's be specific.
Alright, let's be
Pacific. Let's be Pacific.
fuck off. Let's be an ocean.
Let's be an ocean, man.
This is a show where we look deeper into the things we like, love, and
Like an
hate.
ocean.
Like an ocean.
Like
Which
an
of the 3 do you like it, love it, or hate it? The ocean.
No. He said look deep. Like
Yeah.
an ocean.
No, but which of the 3 do you like, love, or hate the ocean?
Do I like, love, or hate the
Yeah.
ocean?
I want to know.
I don't
I want
hate
the hard
ocean.
truths.
I don't think I love the ocean. I think I love the sea more than the ocean.
What is the distinction between
I
the
don't
sea
know.
and the ocean?
Is it science?
Is
a science
it
thing, or
like just a thing of you can go into the sea, but the further into the sea you go, the more
get
into
to
the
the
ocean
ocean.
you become?
Is that what happens?
I don't know.
Oh, damn.
I'm not down with the whole bodies of water.
Nah.
Process.
Nah, man. I've called ponds lakes. I've called lakes rivers. You know, like I'm everywhere when it comes to.
When it comes to bodies of water.
Well, yeah, man. This is random.
So the way this show works is we spin a wheel to decide which one of us is going to talk about a thing. Then we spin a second wheel to pick a category, and then we pick something from that category and we talk about it.
Yes,
it's as
we
simple
do.
as that.
It's quite simple.
So you ready for me to spin the first wheel?
I am.
Can you make some ocean noises for me while I spin the first wheel?
I want to try and remember Elmer Simpson's famous ocean noises that he done.
Really?
Why should you do this? Yeah. Do you not remember that?
I don't. You can demonstrate them for me right
I'll try.
now. Go. I do remember the whoosh, 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 whoosh. Stop. Me.
Yes, I'm so happy about that.
It
'cause
has
I'm
been
trying to
you a
find
lot
my note.
recently.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not made of
The
material.
wheel likes you.
Everything likes me.
That's not true.
It's not
Let's
true
spin
at
the
all.
second wheel. Ready? Go.
And this is the sea now.
Oh, this is the actual sea. That's completely different. Not an ocean. This is a sea. Take it down the bodies of water. Go into sort of a lake now. That's big. Lakes are slightly bigger than that.
Oh, that's the pond. See what I'm talking
yeah.
about?
River. Pond. Puddle. Drip. Stop. Anything. I could talk about whatever I fucking well like. Let's talk about oceans and bodies of water.
Oceans and bodies of water.
Let's try and find the distinction.
I was literally
all the fucking sizes. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Come on.
Have you found out? Are you still looking it up? Would you like me to wait for you to find out?
So here's how it goes, right? Many people use the terms ocean and sea interchangeably.
Those people are fucking morons, I'm assuming you're about to say.
Well, I mean, they're really speaking about oceans. Because there is a difference. There's a difference. When you're speaking geographically, right? The study of the Earth's surface.
Yeah,
this
thanks,
is me just paraphrasing Wiki, by the way. I'm doing a really good job of it as well. Seas are actually smaller than oceans, but they're usually located where the land and the ocean meet.
Yeah.
So, what you get is a small patch of water, which is the sea.
Yeah.
Which
but isn't connected
to the bigger patch of water.
So it is exactly what I said.
It's somewhat
so the
what
sea
you said.
The sea is just the part of the ocean that touches the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah? That is what I said then. Essentially. If you keep going into the sea, eventually it's an ocean.
Yeah, essentially it is what you're getting. Yeah. Yeah.
And also eventually you probably just die because it's
unless you're on a boat.
Probably a good swimmer.
And
you've got to be going in like very specific bits of water to not just
very Pacific
die.
Bits of water.
Very Pacific bits of water. I'd say very Atlantic bits of water.
Oh, I like that.
Right, should I talk about my film now? Was I talking about fucking...
Sorry. Is it Jaws?
It's not Jaws. That would have been good. It is a horror kind of film, though.
Cool.
So I want to talk about a film that I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen. Yeah. I want to talk about it for a very interesting reason. I want to talk about a film called Rubber.
Oh, I've seen that.
Have you?
Nah.
I thought no.
Bounce back from that one.
That
was terrible. It was quite a stretch.
Rubber is a film... Stop.
Rubber jokes.
Rubber is a film about a killer tyre.
Sorry, I thought the jokes were over.
Rubber is a film about a killer tyre. Cool. And the fact that it's stupid is entirely the point of the film, which is what I want to go into.
Yeah.
So it's sort of set up, and the posts and stuff like that make it look like a B movie that's genuinely about a killer tyre.
How does a tyre kill?
We don't know entirely.
Entirely.
That wasn't on purpose.
Oh, that was great.
You don't exactly know. It mostly just crushes things.
Yeah, cool.
So the film starts with a tyre just in like the... Actually, it doesn't. I'm going to read you the actual opening of the film because it's got a really good monologue that is the entire point of the film.
Is this the tyre?
Stop! You can't point that out every time I say entire.
I have to. You're talking about a film about a killer.
I have a lot to talk about.
I mean, come on.
So, the opening bit of the film I'm going to go into, but the opening of the tyres part of the film is just you see a tyre that's in the desert, and then it gets up.
Oh.
And then starts rolling around, and it's sort of, you see this bit of it, it's like it's learning to walk, so it suddenly gains sentience, and then it sort of has to try and learn how to roll itself around on its own. It is literally just a tyre, and then it comes across like a plastic bottle, and it presses up against it, and it makes like a crunchy sound, and then it does it again, and then it rolls over it, so it squishes it, and then it rolls around a little bit more, and then it finds a scorpion, and it sort of nudges against it, and then it crushes the scorpion, and it's sort of like it's learning that it can do this and starting to enjoy it, all in this one like quick scene with a fucking tyre rolling around.
Cool.
And that leads up to it killing people. It finds people and then it wants to kill the people.
Bottle, man. It starts with a plastic
that's how
bottle,
most serial killers start. They crush a plastic bottle and they're like, hell yeah,
you know those kids?
I'm down.
You know those kids with those Robinson's bottles, right? The ones that start to crush it?
Yeah.
Dangerous. Same with the Capri Suns. The one that really suck it through, they can
Those
either be really good at giving head, or they're gonna start killing. Like,
if you've ever looked at a kid drinking that and thought that though, you are a fucking weirdo. If you looked at a kid with a Capri Sun and thought, either this kid's going to be a murderer or he's going to suck some mean dick. If that's the way you're thinking, I think you're the problem.
I didn't even see it like that. I went straight for the joke and I was like, oh, actually, you're right, that's a bitch. We put it like that.
So, do you want me to read you the opening of the film?
Sure.
So, or should I tell you a little bit about the two things that the film's about before I go into this monologue?
There's more to it than...
So there is definitely more to it because it is genuinely like an interesting and complex film.
Oh, right, sounds it.
So the tyre is just like the setup for the point, which I'm going to get into later on.
The car.
No. So the film is about cinema.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of other stuff going on that I'm going to go into later. I'm going to do the intro and then I'll go into that afterwards.
Go on.
So the film starts with a load of chairs down a road in the middle of the desert and a police car driving down them, and it sort of slaloms back and forward to knock all of the chairs over. Then pulls up in front of the camera and a sheriff or like just a cop gets out and walks over to the camera and starts breaking the fourth wall, starts talking to the camera.
Yeah.
So I will read you in entirety the speech that he does at the beginning. So that weird shit happens. He just knocks over all these chairs, pulls up, gets out, and then turns to the camera. And he says, in Steven Spielberg's movie E.T., why is the alien brown? No reason. In Love Story, why did the two characters fall madly in love with each other? No reason. In Oliver Stone's JFK, why is the president suddenly assassinated by some stranger? No reason. In the excellent Chainsaw Massacre by Tobe Hooper, why don't we ever see the characters go to the bathroom or wash their hands like people do in real life? Absolutely no reason. Worse, in The Pianist by Polanski, how come this guy has to hide and live like a bum when he plays the piano so well? Once again, the answer is no reason. I could go on for hours with more examples. The list is endless. You probably never gave it a thought. But all great film, without exception, contains an important element, a no reason. And you know why? Because life itself is filled with no reason. Why can't we see the air all around us? No reason. Why are we always thinking? No reason. Why do some people love sausages and other people hate sausages? No fucking reason. Then it's just, come on, don't waste your time explaining that garbage, let's go. Just 1 minute, so somebody tries to rush him to get on with doing what he's supposed to do in the film. Yeah. And then he says, ladies and gentlemen, the film you're about to see today is an homage to no reason. That most powerful element of style.
Cool. It does set up the film well.
It's a brilliant opening.
But I have a little thing with that.
Yeah.
There is a reason we don't see the air around us. It's science.
That's the point of the whole monologue. Did you not get that?
Oh, there are reasons to do this.
That is what that is. That is also what this podcast is. That's part of why I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Even the first one, why is the alien in E.T. brown? No reason.
To it.
There is a reason. Somebody chose to do that. Somebody's trying to say something. Yeah. There's a reason you don't see anyone go to the toilet in Chainsaw Massacre, because it would be fucking weird and pointless. The point is that everything has a reason.
Don't see much.
Someone has tried to put meaning into everything.
Yeah.
And that's what the opening of this is saying. Before you have the killer tyre start gain sentience and start trying to crash things.
So when it says no reason,
it's
what it really means is...
there is reason.
Jesus, that's going to confuse some people.
But it's a hell of a good opening monologue.
That's good. It sets up the film really well, to be fair.
So the thing that I really want to talk about with the film and why I think it's super interesting is because it's not... like it says, it is an homage to no reason.
Yeah.
It's an homage to sort of the no reason in film, and it is a real depthy interest into cinema and... what's the word I'm looking for? Consumerism of cinema. So
is that cinema really interested you there?
Cinema? So you see the stuff with the tyre.
Yeah.
The tyre is essentially the side story to the film, because there's sort of these two things happening at the same time.
What's the other?
So the other side of it is there are these group of people that are watching the tyre. So there's a guy in a suit who gets all these people to come together, and they all give him money and he gives them tickets, and then he gives them each a pair of binoculars and tells them to watch the tyre. and then they all walk around together watching the tyre. And the point of it in the film is that those people are a cinema audience.
Cool.
And the tyre is a film that they're watching.
Okay.
So the whole point of it is that people will watch anything. And that people have these different ideas of it. And it has this way of showing how people respond to it that is surrealist and you have to kind of break down to understand. But it's genuinely clever.
Okay.
So a lot of it is them walking around just watching the tyre, and they all have different opinions of it. And it's like, they're kind of like a focus group, because you've got like different ages and stuff that. And there's people in the group that are like, this is fucking stupid. Why are we watching a tyre? This is ridiculous. Yeah. And then some people are like, no, I kind of want to see what happens. I mean, there's a tyre and it's trying to kill people. And they get kind of interested in it.
Are they watching this tyre kill people?
So they are all just watching this tyre kill people.
Cool. I mean, they're all accomplices in this then. Really.
Kind of, yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, I just want justice to be served.
If it was a thing that was actually happening, yes, that's true.
Oh, is this tyre not killing anyone?
It is killing people, but this is all a very metaphorical film.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I'm just looking at the very literal side of things, which is people are watching a tyre kill people, therefore they're guilty.
Yeah.
That's all. The law doesn't take metaphors in, man.
Tyres doesn't care for your metaphors.
Oh, man.
And so this group of people have spent all this time watching the tyre, and the guy in the suit, he runs off to a hotel, and he's staying in a hotel, whereas they all have to camp out and watch the film.
Okay.
See the whole thing. He goes back, he has like phone calls from an anonymous voice and stuff like that, who is someone telling him what he's supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So he's the middle management. Yeah. He's not in charge of the film, he's not in charge of what they're seeing. He's getting messages from higher up, but he still gets to be the one that goes back to a hotel. It's not the tyre.
No, it's the Michelin Man.
Fuck off.
Hello, Mr. Michelin? Yes, sir. They watch him. Sorry.
Can we get back to it?
I'm sorry. It's great. I'm actually.
You're focusing on the wrong bit of this.
I'm just feeling
the point.
No, it's really interesting though. I think it's really interesting. The point of it kind of being anyone will watch anything is quite interesting, because you say to someone, yeah, I just watched this film about a time going around killing people.
Yeah, exactly.
It
kind of does it of itself, because if you just said that, you'd sound like a fucking idiot.
But it's like that clever kind of Pandora's box thing of, it does it on itself. When you open it up, it's this magical destruction where it breaks down the stupidness of it.
Yeah.
So it's showing yourself. It's showing yourself like the worst thing of it, and it's quite
reflective of the audience.
Yeah. Back to that mirror that makes the 3 to 8. What it's doing is it's making the 3 to 8. Right? It's not. No, but it's a reflective film.
Yeah, because if the 3 looks into the mirror, it just sees the reflection of a 3, but someone else looking at the 3 and its reflection would see an 8. That's
it. That is literally that metaphor. That's the metaphor you needed for it, right? Because
I really didn't.
No, because this is the point I'm trying to make, right? Is you say you're the 3, or no, the person being told the story is the 3. They're just giving what you say, so they're giving that initial thing of, I've watched a film about a tyre killing people. All they see is the 3.
Yeah, they're not aware of their inclusion into the whole picture.
Exactly, they haven't got the bigger picture, which is who's looking out.
Which is something that really I hadn't thought about until just now. In terms of watching the film, you are kind of part of the film because you're an extension of that audience in the fact that you're watching it.
But then you have to bring yourself out of it to then understand the bigger picture of it, which is it saying, this is the point we're making. Like, it's genius.
Yeah.
It's genius. But it's also a tie killing people, so I'm going to make jokes. Well, yeah. No,
so there are points in the film where the people in the audience that are watching it start getting ill and stuff like that. They start starving to death as well.
Okay.
So they're all out in the desert. They're all like, we haven't got any water and we're dying. So it goes on for quite a while before it gets to that point where they're all camping out.
Where they literally starve themselves.
They are starving while watching it. And the producer is in his hotel room and there's a turkey, a live turkey. He then kills the turkey and he brings it out to them, and he throws this group of people the cooked turkey, and they all run at it and start ripping it apart to eat it.
Yeah.
So they all become like sort of an animal, like eating it. And obviously the point of this scene is that a turkey is a term that you use for like a shit film.
Yeah.
So the point of it is that they're so desperate for something, they're willing to eat the shit film because they're looking for a good film. But is the point of it?
It's amazing.
It's
just on the flip side.
It's literalism. Right? It's taking what the terms that we use for it and putting it into realistic terms of these people being starved for something to the point where they'll eat a turkey.
Yeah. That's the so think about it from the other metaphorical side of things, right? Is they've starved themselves so much, right, to the watching this garbage essentially, right, that another bit of garbage because they're just being chucked food. Yeah. They have to eat it like animals,
but they throw it onto the floor and
because they've been starved of any other substance, anything else.
That's good enough.
That's exactly something
that's not good is good enough because they need something.
Apart from
but I think that's why it's a really interesting reflection on cinema. In that you'll see a popcorn film because you know it's a turkey and it's better than starving. Even though you're looking for something more than that.
Yeah, you want a full meal. You want a Sunday roast, but
exactly.
Sunday roast don't come every time, man. Like, it's really interesting though. That is really interesting. That's cool.
But there are other points in the film where like the 4-4 break. So that bit at the beginning is a 4-4 and then there's quite a long period of time before it happens again. You're just watching all of this weird stuff, and the tyre goes to a motel and sees this woman there, and it's all like a serial killer. It is really done like a serial killer. Like he can see her in her room, and she goes into the shower and stuff like that, and it's like the tyre's watching her. Yeah, and it is all very serial killer-esque. And there's all these people around. Go on, make your shit joke.
No, it's just because you said when he said he went into a motel, I just thought. What if this time went through a drive-through?
To a motel, not a hotel.
Did he go through a drive-through at any point?
He does not. I don't.
Oh, think. They didn't do it. Oh man,
he was in the desert.
This whole thing
drive-throughs around.
No, like motels in the desert.
There are like stop points on the way through to other towns. That's what a motel is. A motel is a motor hotel.
I'm sure McDonald's.
It's a hotel for people that are driving somewhere. That's the point of it.
You go to the right places in Sahara and you'll find a McDonald's.
Sahara.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, McDonald's are everywhere, so if he's in Texas or somewhere and he ain't finding a McDonald's, he ain't looking. Simple as.
You're just not looking hard. There's always a McDonald's.
There's always a McDonald's, what the hell?
But there's a point where the police are looking into it. Yeah. And the main police officer, the one from the beginning, is there as well. And they suddenly break character, so someone gets shot and they're just still alive. And he's like, oh shit, the film's broken. And then he shoots someone else and they're still fine. And he's just like, well, this is it. We fucked it all up. And it's like a really weird scene. It's kind of like, have you ever seen the film Funny Games?
No.
So Funny Games is a horror film with Naomi Watts, Tim Roth.
Is it the one where they go...
Michael Pitt is one of the bad guys in it.
Oh, they're in this... obviously they're in a house somewhere. And then it's like these two
guys dressed like cricket players.
Yeah. I have seen that. Yeah.
So that's a brilliant film and definitely something I want to talk about in another episode.
Cool. I need to watch that
unless
again,
I land on films again, in which case I'm talking about
though.
it now. It's a really fucked up and brilliant horror film. But there's a point in that film, I don't know if it's in the original, but it's definitely in the remake. I haven't seen the original one, where they actually get away, where they all get onto a boat and they're trying to leave, and then one of the bad guys pulls out a TV remote, points it at them, presses reverse, and they all come back. And then they stop them from getting on the boat. There's like this moment of, no, we're not going to let you have that. We're in control of the film.
Yeah.
And then they bring it back. It's kind of like that in what happens in Rubber, where it's just sort of like, they completely break the film open. So they've been doing all this like metaphorical stuff, which I think is incredibly clever. But to get to a point where they're just like, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's just shut the whole film down. But it's still being recorded. Again, like you were saying, it makes you a part of the audience. Yeah. Because the audience are watching all the stuff in between the cuts. They're watching all of the bits where the tyre is just rolling on its way to its destination. Which if it was a film, you'd cut out. You wouldn't watch that. Yeah. The tyre would just set off, then you'd see it arrive. You don't film that bit in between. If you do, it's a shit film. I've seen films where they've tried to do that. I've walked out of them.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I have.
Jesus Christ.
I ain't going to watch someone walk for like a couple of minutes doing literally
I've paid
nothing.
money, man. You can keep walking.
But that's exactly what it does to you. So you see this bit where the film is broken and he's actively saying, like, this has gone wrong.
Yeah.
And you're still watching it. So it makes you like the audience where you're seeing that bit in between.
Like
which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it makes you them.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the exact same thing that they've been doing. You're seeing the whole process.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes type stuff. But I think
Cool.
it's interesting, and why I wanted to talk about this was I think it's something that doesn't get used super often. This level of like metaphor.
Yeah,
for stuff.
It's quite ingrained that the whole film itself is literal.
Because the story's pretty simplistic in terms of the tyre. The tyre story is like it's just like a cliched story. It's just like a serial killer thing that you could have seen in shitloads of other films.
Yeah.
But it's the audience side of it that makes it complicated and interesting, and that's the side of it that's the metaphor and has like a meaning that is quite strong and to a point.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's a film about a killer car.
Yeah.
The tyre's not that far off. Yeah, I mean, the tyre's not that
Yeah.
far off in actuality. Like,
yeah, which
so-
I suppose that is kind of what it's making fun of, isn't it? It is that kind of thing. And there's also a bit at the end of the film that you'll really love. It's not really... It's a little bit of a spoiler because it's a little bit of a surprise, but it's not like going to ruin the film for you because it's all the other stuff we've been talking about. That's why it's worth watching the film. There's a bit at the end after they've defeated the tyre.
They've defeated the tyre.
They defeat the tyre.
How do they do it? They burn it.
I can't exactly remember. Either way, they defeat the tyre. Then at the end of the film, there's like a tricycle, and the tricycle becomes sentient instead, and that starts rolling around, and it's like the intro of the film.
First, it was the big wheel.
Yeah.
Now it's 3 wheels.
Yes. But like, I feel like this is the point. It is funny and it's stupid, but that's why it works. Because
they made it a trilogy straight away.
Maybe that is the point of that. I've not thought that. That might actually be why they made it a tricycle and not a bicycle. Because it was like, we could make 3 of these, and people would... That's what they're saying.
Could be. You never know. Well, that's pretty jokes.
That's actually really clever if that was the point of it. This idea that you could take something stupid like that, but then give it so much meaning by having the reflective side of it.
Yeah.
I
mean, to be fair, there's like... I did want to make a point about... I want to find the right things to make a point about, but there are a lot of like... really good things that are packaged. So, okay, like one film that I think is quite interesting in this is Super. Yeah. Where it packages really, really grounding, you know, and really interesting things in what is essentially nonsense. Like, when all hasn't seen Super is just basically a man who goes around trying to be a superhero, but he's a parody of superhero films. Yeah. Which has one of my favourite sex scenes in it of all time. The most awkward thing in the world. Because it's so uncomfortable. Yeah. But that's entirely the point of it, and it's so well done. So awkward, but it is quite a deeper thing of a man. Of a man who wants to be someone else, and it's like he basically
even the fact that like he doesn't have any superpowers, he just hits people in the face with a wrench. Like, stuff like that. That's another good example of it. That is such a silly film. Of that kind of silliness, but then having a meaning behind it. Yeah, man. I would say that has to the point of Rubber, where I think Rubber's got quite a strict on that one. Like, point to make. Yeah. Whereas Super has sort of a bit of that, but I don't think as much. It's more... No, it's definitely not trying to... break any boundaries there. It is just kind of pointing out how silly that kind of notion is, isn't it, really? Yeah. Well, yeah. It's quite interesting, though. I mean, I feel like I'll say that I'll watch it at some point, but me trying to pitch that to my girlfriend's going to be interesting. What, Rubber? Yeah. me trying to pitch that. It does sound like a bit of a hard sell. It might be a bit of a watch on your own kind of thing. It definitely probably will be. Especially since you kind of need to be analytical when you're watching it. It's not like wow, this is a fun film. I feel like
I'm quite I'm watching. You can be quite analytical watching it with other people because then you just chock the thoughts out,
But I mean, it is one where everyone needs to be on board with being analytical. Otherwise, it's a weird.
Yeah,
And I could see it being really boring if you didn't get the point of the film.
definitely.
But
Definitely,
I
think it's a brave thing.
I've explained the point of the film, so definitely watch it. Because it is genuinely good.
Yeah.
And I'm quite a fan of the director now. I'm trying to watch some of his other films. His name's Quentin Dupieux, but I want to see some of his other films. There's a film that's about a man who's trying to get back his dog who he's in love with. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be metaphorical.
Man and his dog, huh?
Yeah. But I don't know if it's like a metaphor for if it is like a woman or whatever. And it's how he treats her or how he sees her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Based on Rubber, I'm going to just assume that all of the rest of his films
fair,
quite distinct
fair
metaphors.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely want to watch more of his films, and I definitely recommend Rubber. And quite a lot of actors who aren't in anything else, especially the guy that plays the cop. I don't remember him from anything else, but he's really good in it. Especially that opening monologue is fantastic. Yeah, it's very well written.
Cool. There you go.
No reason.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, and this podcast. That's exactly what we do.
But I mean, at any point watching it, did you ever get tired?
No, I was very alert. Thank you.
Sorry. I've been keeping that joke in for a while, I can't lie.
That's going to be it for the first half of the episode. Go check out the film Rubber by Quentin Dupieux, which is spelled as French as it sounds, so there's a couple of extra vowels at the end of it. We'll see you in just a second where we'll be picking the next topic to talk about.
It's a wonderful waste of time.
And welcome back. So, you ready to spin the wheel? Do you want to make some tyre noises while I spin the wheel? I don't know what noise that is. Just from rubber noises. Rolling around at the speed of sound.
I'll try for that. Nah, I'm going to try for a tyre on the road.
Tyre on the road, Go.
It's a bit flat.
Quite good. Look at you.
I mean, you can stop at any time.
Stop. I got distracted by the fact that was pretty good. You turned into fucking Michael Winslow for a second.
Oh man, I was a really big fan of what's it called? What's the cop
Police
film?
Academy.
The cop film.
The cop film. With the police
Academy.
at the academy.
I was doing the cop figures and everything, like they hold guns and.
So you ready to spin the second wheel? Give me some more.
Me.
Alright, I'm going to spin the second wheel. You give me some more tyre sounds. Tyre sounds? What the fuck does that mean? Tyre sounds.
Yeah, go on.
Go.
This is like, when you know those bikes, those really good...
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the first one.
Okay, well...
I was more into the first one. This is just a whoosh. This could have been the ocean again. Stop. Anything.
Yes.
You both got anything.
Yes! Oh!
Do we win something when that happens?
I
feel like this is gambling.
I feel like, I mean, what, how?
I don't know. Do we just go buy something to celebrate?
Exactly, how do we
I don't know who would be winning something from. It's only us.
How? How do you... Yeah, cool, man. You're right about being spoiled for choice now, because I'm like, oh...
Now you've got too many things to choose between.
No, I mean, I've never got too many things, right? Like, Jesus. Maybe what we'll go with is something I've touched on before, but I just wanted to really dig deep into it, like really, really get the soil and, flip it over and look underneath and look at the roots and see exactly where it came from.
Are we finally doing gardening?
Are we finally doing gardening?
It's about time.
No, this is, I've definitely touched upon it, which is about, I guess musicians, like, the majority of them would actually be classed as musicians, but now one of them is definitely like all poetry, beat poetry. You know? But essentially, yeah, they do both basically, and it is about that.
Beat poetry is kind of just the other way around, isn't it?
Well,
it's someone who's a poet.
Yeah.
Poet first.
Well, rap is just rhythm and poetry after all.
I would say that rap is music first.
Yeah.
Poetry second.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas beat poetry is poetry first, music second.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, I think a lot of... In rap, people get stick for being more lyrical anyways. You know, like the whole kind of... Mos Def is... He's too lyrical.
Which is a really stupid thing
stupidest
to say
thing I've ever heard.
Someone who's writing a song.
Stupidest thing.
Too lyrical.
Thing. What's he going to do? Beatbox, dickhead. But anyways, right. I mean, like, if I go from who really wanted me to talk about this, right? Yeah. It's Kojey. Yeah, cool. Yeah, like
LL Cool J.
No, it's not LL Cool J. He's not lyrical at all.
J Cole.
No,
what are you trying to say?
No, Kojey. Jesus Christ, Kojey Radical, man. Like Kojey. I put Kojey, but it's Kojey. That's what I was thinking. Kojey. That doesn't sound right. So it's Kojey, right? Kojey Radical, absolute wordsmith. I don't know. So for me, I got introduced to him from one of his poems, and it was a garden party, right? That's the first. His visuals are amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, look background to him. I think he was firstly a dancer, because he's got moves as well. But then he is a poet. He's downright a poet. No matter what he does, it's poetry. From his visual aspect of things, from his movement aspect of things, he's a poet. But obviously, he writes poetry as well. But then his music, they're very strong musically. But his presence on it is all about the words. It's all about the way he flexes his tones, you know, and like the words he uses, but also the structure in which he uses the words. You know what I mean? So he does this really. I don't know. And I'm literally going through it now, where I still can't say to you like he's just a poet or he's dude. He's literally the bridge. He's a bridge. He does this thing with his music that you have to focus on the words.
Yeah.
You have to understand what it's... You won't understand to the extent of, you know, literal, you know, word for word phrasing, you know what he's saying. Yeah. But you have to understand that the words all carry deeper meaning. They all carry this kind of gravity to them.
Is it performed more like poetry or more like...
No, man. His performance element is very like... It's like rock band shit, man. You know, this is why it's so amazing. It's like the energy you can put behind... So... If we bring it all the way back to beat poetry, right? If we bring it all the way back to beat poetry, and you've got like greats like Allen Ginsberg is, you know, like Howl. Have you? There was a film of Howl that James Franco did. If maybe you call it that. Okay, but Howl is like an epic poem by...
Didn't you perform?
Yeah,
I've seen you perform it then.
Oh, did you go? Oh yeah, you came to one of the shows. That's when... What's his name from...
Drizzle Kid.
Yeah. He's also doing poetry now, by the way. He's doing
that was when we went to see it and he came to you afterwards and said you did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my old friend Jordan from Drizzle Kid.
He does a lot of poetry now, actually. Yeah. He goes around with another Sicilian Nap. I see them a lot, kind of doing a lot of things. Anyways, that was one of the poems that really defined the era of beat poetry. Allen Ginsberg was like a pioneer in his time. But then looking at one of my own personal favourites, Gil Scott-Heron. Is it Jill or Gil? It'll be Gil.
This is one of the ongoing questions of having never heard anyone say his name and only seeing it written down.
Yeah, man.
I have also questioned that before.
The thing is, I've like watched people announce him and shit like that, and I still have that thought, like, is it Gil or Jill?
Yeah, but anyways, when you start going, are they saying it? I'm not going to be influenced by this one presenter.
I think there's a Mos Def track where he says it himself.
Yeah.
When Jill Scott-Heron comes on the end. No. Jill Scott-Heron. This is Jill Scott-Heron telling you to get there. He's saying to people to get one of these tracks or something like that. But I still...
But what if he's wrong?
I don't know, man. I mean, like, really, the only person we can trust is the person who named him.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only person we can trust.
I agree.
So I've got a lot of I've got a few of his albums, and it's quite an interesting thing where the XS done a remix album using a lot of Gil Scott samples, right? And they...
Who? The XX?
Yeah, I think it was...
was it Jamie?
Jamie XX, sorry. Sorry. So the XX is the XX.
He does a lot of... No, the XX is the band he's in.
Oh, okay, yeah,
but he does a lot of stuff like that on his own.
Yeah, Jamie
It
XX
might be the whole band, but I know he's done...
No, Jamie XX. Definitely, it was him individually doing that.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of remixes of Jill stuff, and for some of them, I mean, they were all fucking they were slick. They were so
Yeah.
good. But for some of them, he did do justice where he kept the words in. You know, he really kept... Because if you listen to Gil's original stuff with his own band, it's very, like... It's driven by the music as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's one of his albums, in fact, he left in a bit where someone tried to switch up the drums on him because the drums weren't working with the poem. They rehearsed it with a specific drum. With a specific... And, like, it just shows the gravity of the music with his words.
Yeah.
It shows that it's not just the poem. It's the whole thing we're doing. But he's a poet. Yeah. He, like, essentially, Jill Scott, although he's got albums of pure music, people will put him out as a poet. Yeah. You know, I think in his biography, he'll be put down as a Brooklyn poet or beat poet. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a lot of his stuff, I mean, the flute is like that seemed like his goal too. You know what I mean? Like, even the revolution will not be televised. I think that was essentially just a flute that was backing it with some bongos. You know what I mean? Like, very musical element to it. Yeah. And with stuff like that, you know, when you ask, is it performed as poetry or is it performed as, you know, as music? It's like, there is no definite, there's no one side to it. It's like, this is it's an ensemble. And the lyricist is doing what they do as a performer. And it's not kind of, like, I would probably perform in a different manner if I was performing spoken word than if I was doing a rap song on stage. Yeah. Whereas with them, I feel like that's just their performance. That's their style of articulating.
Having the different timing makes you perform it differently, doesn't it?
Yeah, essentially.
Because you can't always put emphasis or leave a pause and stuff like that. Yeah. Because you're trying to do it in time with the music. It's only like beat poetry when it's completely separate.
It is. It's like a free-flowing element within itself, where even with the rhythm of the beats themselves, the bongos and the drums, like, the poet has their own rhythm as well, which, you know, and they intertwine so well, and that's why it all works. You know?
A lot of people when they perform poetry do seem to have a rhythm to it.
They do.
I'm always just like an
along.
Internal.
Everyone's got internal metronome, though. I think everyone's got that kind of internal.
Or at least when you perform,
Definitely. I mean, you'll find me in crowds of spoken word shows and just bopping along like I'm listening to a track, because with certain poets, and this is how I identify with a lot of poets, is I like their rhythm. Yeah, I like the way they put the words together. You know, so it's definitely there is that element to it. Actually, you're right. There is that natural element to poetry where it's got that natural metronome. Everyone follows their own individual rhythm. Yeah, but with these particular, and like Kojey, I think obviously we're living in a new age where with electronic music, and he's not particularly electronic. He's music sounds like he's brought a band in, but I feel like he's got the ability and the space, and, you know, maybe he's got the backing now to be able to create those big sounds. Yeah. Whereas, you know, in a time back then, beat poetry wasn't something people would have incorporated with massive musical sounds. Yeah. You know, they although the music was still a big part of it, it was still quite, you know, it was still quite percussion, you know, rather than
it tends to be like a certain genre as well. With beat poetry, it tends to be like jazz.
Jazzy, definitely. But not big jazz, if you get what I mean. It's not like heavy swing jazz or something like that.
It's more like what's the word?
It's like for me it's just more on the percussion side. It's more, and then you get a few wind stuff, but you don't get. It's coming. It's tip of the tongue. When it gets there, it's all right. But so Kojey, for me, Kojey really
ambient was what I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
it's more like ambient kind of. It's not like. It's not like
rolling.
No, it's more just like interpretive. You know, like, have you ever seen videos of people who do jazz drumming along to conversations?
Okay,
and it's all like to the rhythm of people talking. Yeah. It's like
very much so, actually. Very much so.
It's not like set timing with beat poetry. A lot of the time, it tends to be sort of looser sounding to make it flow better.
But here's the thing: the music element is they're quite structured, as in like you could take the words out of these beats, and it's like, oh, this is a groove. This is nice, and I think, let's say there's an example with Just Got Aaron where he done a song, was paying homage to who done a Love Supreme, Coltrane.
Yeah.
He done a poem, the homage done to Coltrane, and it was a homage specific to a Love Supreme, and they had a Love Supreme.
Yeah.
They had that in the background of it, and it kept the rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is still very musical in element, but what they've done with the way and it's not just they've written really long fancy words.
Yeah.
It's poetry. The flow of it is poetry. It's a lot more. There's a lot more breath in it than you would get in rap. And even with Kojey, he's got some serious flow. And I'm talking serious flow here. But it's still a very poetic flow. I mean, I don't even know how I would essentially establish why it's more poetry than rap, but it's a very poetic flow.
Yeah.
When he goes really fast when he's talking, it's still very poetic. It's not got that attacking emphasis on the rhyming and the whatever catches on the 4-bar, whatever. It doesn't have that emphasis on those kind of bars. It's just free flowing, but still has this. It's weird. It's weird. Just a structure to it.
It's hard to define. Like
it is hard to define.
Between the two, and I suppose it is just down to really. I would always just say it's whatever it was written as. If it was originally written as a song, then it's a song. If it was originally written as a poem, it's a poem.
That is quite interesting.
One as the other. But
if
the intent initially was one thing, then I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's something.
There are definitely a lot of poetic songs that you could easily read as poetry.
Yeah, but are there songs that you listen to and say this is poetry? This is what I'm trying to say. That
I don't generally think of many things and think this is poetry.
Okay, fair enough.
So probably not.
Yeah,
but there are definitely things where I've thought this is very poetically written. Stuff with a lot of metaphor in it, I tend to think of as being more poetically written, which probably isn't really true. Doesn't make it more poetic because it's metaphorical.
Yeah, exactly. See,
that's why I'm saying it's hard to define. Like when I read you the lyrics of a Mountain Goat song in the last episode, and you agree with me, like it's pretty poetic. Like just reading it was really poetic. It was Dino Lapati's Bones. Like it is poetic, but it was written as a song, so it's a song, not a poem.
Yeah. Okay, well that's the thing. So with Common, the Common Sense, the rapper, a lot of people said he was poetic. Right, and he could. Same with what Kanye West did on Def Jam, and he did it as well. Actually.
I was going to say,
DMX did it as well. Actually,
I've watched videos of
them
and like Talib Kweli and Mos Def.
On
like the same year.
DMX done one of called the I think it's something called The Industry I think it's called The Industry actually, and it's sick. I'm telling you, man, DMX was serious, man. But yeah, there's quite a lot of. I think Black Milk did it as well. I think Black Milk did one. He was a sick rapper as well. But anyways, pretty sure he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But basically, they are poetic writers, but they don't write poetry for me. You know what I mean? Like Common can write poetry. There's no doubt about that because of the way he writes. You can tell that within him. But what I'm saying about people like Kojey, and there's another person I wanted to touch on, which is Joshua Dehen. And Joshua, he's a poet, but he mostly does his music.
Yeah.
He's mostly in two bands, one called Benin City, one called...
Yeah, I know Benin City, we've talked about them before.
Yeah.
Off show, but yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and Joshua he's the bridge here that when you can tell there's some things he's written for the music and there's things he's written for the poetry. But there are some things where he's kind of in between it, you know, like they've got this song, My Love. And it's like, my love is blah blah blah, my love is blah. Oh, it's such a good song, and I'm pretty sure I heard that with a backing track, and it was like, yo, it was like that's the music behind it. But I heard that originally as a poem. You know what I mean? Like I heard that. I think the first one I heard of that was a poem. But he very much stands more, I think, in the realm of a poetic writer who does music.
Yeah.
Whereas Jill Scott and Kojey, I feel they've kind of broken genre. I mean, like, okay, Jill Scott, we could say was a beat poet in essence, but I feel like with a lot of beat poets that I've listened to, he put a lot more into his musical element. You know, he had his band. You know, he had more to it than just kind of the one sample going on or the repetitive beats. There were genuine musical elements to a lot of the stuff he done, which were then brought out when Jamie XS done a lot of this, like when he done, is it Home? What was it called? This is so Jamie XS, that the whole tape, he covered quite a few of
is it just his Jill Scott?
Of Jill Scott stuff, yeah, it's just Jamie XS, Jill Scott. You'll see
XX.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
We're New Here.
Oh wait, was that?
It says the album was called.
Yeah. What's the tracks on it? Yeah, have you got the track list? Just make you go through it there.
Yes. Do you want me to read you the entire track list?
Yeah, and I'll tell you which
the
one.
First one's I'm New Here. Home. I've Been Me.
Yeah, so Home is sick.
Okay, I'll stop. Or shall I carry on?
Well, no, that's what I was just referencing just
Home.
now, innit?
Yeah.
It's just Home. Is the bottle there?
Bottle? No.
New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York is killing me.
Yeah, New York is killing me.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I mean, like, a lot of these were poems. A lot of these he done to the backing of his beat poetry, and Jamie XS brought quite a lot out of it. And then there were elements in there that was like Jill Scott went for the vocals. You know, he went through the singing element. Yeah. It's quite, but there is a difference. Trust me, there's a difference between what they're doing as performers, as creatives, especially what Kojey essentially is doing as a creative. That is different from the beat poetry era of Jill Scott and the poetic writers of the hip hop and in other realms. What Kojey is doing is for me, it's like it's breaking a new barrier. It's breaking it's a whole new element where I can listen to it and one be like, raw, this beat is filthy. You know, like listen to me like this beat is filthy. But then break it down and say, whoa, that poem was disgusting. Yeah. You know? And this is all within one. I don't know, it's hard to establish if he's written a poem and then put a backing track to it. Yeah. Or if they were building it together, if you get what I mean.
Because you can definitely tell sometimes when something's been written as one and not the other. Definitely. Like going back to talking about Def Jam and Kanye West, when he performed at the Def Jam that I've watched, did the same one that you talked about before.
Bittersweet?
No, it's not Bittersweet. It's
Self-Conscious.
One of the first couple of albums.
I promise.
It's that,
self-conscious. Yeah.
So he did that at Def Jam, and when I watched it, it seemed like he'd made a song and was performing it as a poem.
Yeah.
And you can feel that it wasn't written as a poem, and then like Common would come on and do something that is both, but felt like he was doing a poem.
Yeah, definitely.
And not like it was a song in his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that they perform it feels different. And it's even like, I get the sense from, I've played it before, there's a Trimble song, Confidence Boost, that James Blake did. I played you that before.
Trim,
where that feels like that's something that Trim had done on his own, and then James Blake had turned it into a song.
It would have probably
just
been
from
that.
The performance. Sounds like that was a poem that's been changed into a song. Yeah. So you can sort of get a feel from some things where it was intent was one thing and it became the other, and then there's definitely like a blur in between. Where it can become a bit of both.
I mean, for Kojey, I think it's definitely. Not even just in that blur, I think it's just a whole thing. I think this is like
Sal Williams as well, who we were talking about.
See, okay, now Sal Williams is interesting. That's actually, I don't know why I didn't think of Sal Williams. Because this is really interesting.
I think he sounds very different doing the two things, and they sound distinctly like what they are.
Yeah, that's really
They don't sound like a blur, I think, because I've listened to it since talking about
last
week's podcast.
I'm so happy you've actually brought that up.
His music sounds like music.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a poet trying to do music, you know what I mean?
It sounds
separate,
really
distinct.
You know what, I'm so happy you brought that up. No, because Sal Williams is a great example. Like, you know what, if you was to sit down and then went from Jill Scott to Sal to Kojey, it seems like I'm telling you, it's like watching a genre emerge. It's like literally watching from the beginning of blues to hip hop, or you know what I mean, like jazz to hip hop, that funk to hip hop, and like that. That is seriously, it's so interesting because that's a great bridge. Because I think Sal Williams is one of those first innovators that started doing that kind of it's not just poetry, it's not just music, it's like this, it's an element, it is music essentially, but what is written to it is like, that wasn't just written as a poem and just put it on music, it wasn't just written as lyrics, it's like he's written this thing to be musical poetry, you know? Like, it's not just beat poetry, it's musical poetry, it's composed within the song, you know? Like, it's not like rappers that will write lyrics to a beat, if you know what I mean. I mean, you can get a lot of rappers that will write lyrics to a beat and it sounds like, oh, it all goes. Yeah. But it's like they've built this thing within, you know, like it's like a whole product, like that song was made for that poem and they've intertwined it very well. Very good for bringing Sal Williams up. Happy you've been listening to him. What's your Sal Williams?
I've not listened to much. I wouldn't remember any of the titles of things. I just watched a couple of random things on YouTube.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I saw him the other day. Last year, I think I actually saw him in the Jazz House or Jazz Cafe in Camden.
Oh, Jazz Cafe.
Jazz Cafe, yeah, sick, man, sick.
Should we wrap up there?
Yeah. That's that, man. I didn't have much more to say about Joshua, but his band is sick. There's two of them. It's Benin City and
as a musician, he works with three bands.
Yeah,
you were wrong. Benin City.
Yeah.
Hugh.
That's the one I was thinking of.
With electro dub outfit. LV.
Yeah.
He's gained accolades from Hugh. That's not three bands, then, is it?
No, Hugh and LV. But I think
thing I'm reading says three and then lists two things.
Hugh and LV.
Oh no, Hugh. So so that's two separate things. I thought you were saying Hugh was with. I missed out.
No.
So Benin City, Hugh, and LV.
Yeah. LV's got this one good saxophonist, and they are, and I think I don't know if the same saxophonist that does it for Benin City as well. Serious though, man. Serious. I'm telling you, Josh is crazy.
Yeah.
So I did want to just kind of talk on how he uses that live band element very well, but he does. You know, thinking about it, he's more of a poetic writer. He does poetry, he does music, but he's just more of a poetic writer. But he does have some songs that do bridge it very well. But it's just hard to define because Benin City are like this kind of hard essence, big band sound. Hugh are more electronic, and LV a little bit more chilled, but they've still got the full band element. So he does everything there. You know what I mean? Busy guy, sick guy.
Cool. Do you want to do shout outs? Was that your shout out?
I'll shout out Josh all day, man. Yeah, man.
So it's Joshua Idehen.
Yeah.
Idehen.
Yeah, buddy.
My shout out is something we talked about for a second that I think everyone should go and watch, and I'm going to talk about it at some point. So go and watch it now because eventually I'm going to talk about the film Funny Games because I think it's one of the best horror films for so many reasons. So we'll go into that at some point. Plugs for yourself?
Yeah. I'll put that tape out, man. It's on Bandcamp because SoundCloud are arseholes.
So is it Bandcamp? Bandcamp /
Oh no, it's Mr. Souls.
.bandcamp. They do it that way around.
.com.
I've never used Bandcamp really.
Yeah, not a lot of people do.
I've listened to people on Bandcamp. I've never uploaded anything to Bandcamp.
Yeah, man, they're good, man. I haven't got any merch up, which is, I think it is definitely more for that indie scene, you know, like you can put your merch up on there and stuff like that.
Good for getting stuff out there.
Yeah, but they're not arseholes with copyright, you know, like, I mean, in essence, copyright has got, some people need to fix up with this copyright shit, man. Seriously, it's just fucking annoying. Yeah, I've done the 5 remixes, there's Rihanna Diamonds, Gold Panda U, The Bottle just got actually, but it was covered by, it was a more hip hop version of it, the backing track, and Pound Cake by Drake. It's on Bandcamp, it's banging, it's sick, you go check it out, it'll keep you busy till I've got the next thing out.
If you want to hear more from me, you can go on YouTube and search Renegade Pineapple, where I do Let's Plays. We've just started playing Cuphead, which is a fucking awesome run and gun 30s cartoon style game. And we've also recently started a series called Digital Dicks, which is a series of mystery games. It's going to be hopefully 4 of us most of the time, including SG. We've started playing a game called Kona, which is like a supernatural mystery set in Canada. It's really cool. Yeah. If you want more from this show, wherever you are, there'll be links to other things. If you want to contact us, you can comment anywhere, but you should like and subscribe. And you can email us at awonderfulwasteofemail@gmail.com. You can leave us a review on iTunes, and like I say, message us anywhere. Have you got a question of the day?
Right, here's one. If there's any musician, if you'd want to see Yeah, that's a good one actually. Yeah, if there's any musician that you want to see do poetry, so I don't know, say like Liam Gallagher reading some poetry.
Oh, I wouldn't have Liam Gallagher do it.
Right.
I'd rather see Noel Gallagher write poetry.
Is Noel the more violent one?
No, Liam's the more violent.
Yeah, I want
one.
to see him do it.
No, I like
Punk poets,
Noel's
man.
lyrics. So
Yeah, but punk poets, man, you need some anger. You need some realness.
he's going to be
man.
like Itch from the King Blues.
I think he's going to be amazing. That's why.
And also comment on what we've been talking about this week. That's it for this week's episode. Go like and subscribe, leave us reviews, do all that. We'll see you next week. We'll be doing a top 5 list. Goodbye.
Peace.
It's a wonderful